Hello, my name's Angela from Angela Simpson Functional Medicine, and I'd like to talk to you today about a topic that I find is really, really common symptom-wise with females in this age group, and that is bloating, weight gain, weight fluctuations that happen in timing where you're at in your cycle, if you're still a cycling female, constipation, or just poor irregular bowel movements. And so I want to ask you, is this something that you feel like is happening to you month after month? Do you notice that your bowels change within each month or even within the weeks within the month as your hormones start to fluctuate and change? Is this changing as you get older? Do you feel more bloated? Like maybe you've gained 5 pounds as you get closer to your cycle or even more, and like you're retaining fluid so much that you can barely get your pants done up? Do you feel also like this is just happening continuously worse and worse as you come through every single cycle? Do you feel like sometimes the weight is changing, it's going up and down, but the overall net effect is that it's actually continuing to creep up on the scale? And do you notice that you're having cravings as well at certain times of month that's also contributing to this? Do you also notice that your bowels might be getting more sluggish and slow, especially in timing with your cycle? And then at the same time, they can turn around and be loose from one moment to the next. Do you also notice within this that you might have also suffered at some point with something like hemorrhoids or fissures or maybe even blood in the stool? So this is common when the bowels aren't regulated correctly. And this is also something that symptom-wise that's very, very uncomfortable. And so the thing is if you do have symptoms like these, you're probably suffering from imbalances in your gut. And when we have imbalances in our gut, it is going to affect our overall hormone health. So it's not uncommon, but it is something that needs to be addressed because it does wreak havoc on our hormone balance if we don't deal with it. And so if your bowels aren't moving properly, it means that your hormones aren't moving properly either. And when our hormones are produced by our ovaries, we need them to be processed and moved around to the correct areas in our body. We also need our excess hormone detoxed and eliminated correctly when it needs to be. So our bowels are our primary place for this detox and elimination to take place. So if our bowels aren't moving properly, our hormones aren't either. And so if you feel like you also, in addition to those symptoms I described, you also have weight, not just weight gain, but you're suffering from PMS, mood swings, irritability, things like this as well, it's quite likely that there is a gut imbalance that is triggering your hormones. And the other thing about this is if you do not do something about this now, if you try and just rationalize, which I know a lot of women do as they hit this time period in their life, maybe I have to just put up with this and I have to just wait until I go through that transition into menopause because maybe then it'll all go away. I'm here to tell you that that's probably not the case because I work with lots of females that have transitioned into menopause and they often have all of these symptoms and then some, and often they will get worse, in particular the weight gain, if you go through that transition into menopause with your gut out of balance. So it's really important that you start addressing this now because if you don't, you could not only be just suffering with these symptoms, but you could be at risk for more serious things developing, such as autoimmune conditions or even certain cancers. So it's just really important that you think about the impact that this could have on your overall health, not only now, but in the future if you don't do something about it pretty soon. And, I know that you probably have that desire to want to look and feel better, feel comfortable in your own body again, especially as you get closer to certain times in your cycle, because you probably notice that this is when you're at the peak of all of your symptoms if you're still a cycling female. And if you're postmenopausal, you might be not only noticing at certain points in the month, but it might be more consistent, which actually just makes you feel generally worse. You feel more sluggish in your bowels. And often when we feel sluggish in our bowels and backed up, we also feel sluggish in our brain and our energy systems. Everything in our body is just not working correctly when this isn't. And so what do you do to get the balance back? And what do you do to also prevent further health issues from developing in the future? So I wanted to let you know that I have developed a 6-week program that helps to address these things exactly. And it's called 6 Weeks to a Hormonally Healthier and Happier You. And this program addresses your specific needs as your hormone levels start to fluctuate and change in this time period of life. This isn't just some generic program for diet and exercise strategies for losing weight. This is something that is specific to you and your hormones and the stage that you're at in your life, that's going to help get the lifestyle principles on track for you, that's going to help you keep your weight managed, as well as those other symptoms that go along with it for the long term. So it's really important that we recognize that to rebalance our hormones and rebalance those symptoms we're feeling, we have to address our whole body. So we have to look at our gut function, we have to look at our liver detox pathways, and we really have to look at other lifestyle principles that need to get into balance to help us with our hormones long term. So if you want to learn more about this, please feel free to reach out. You can message me on my Facebook business page, Angela Simpson Functional Medicine, to ask me about the 6-week program and if you think you might be a good candidate for it. You can also sign up for a free complimentary consult with me on my website, www.angelasimpsonfunctionalmedicine.ca. We can discuss your health, your symptoms, and if you would be a good candidate for this. And if not, what else would be a better thing for you to start working on right away to start getting your hormones back on track. And then I also want to let you know that you don't want to wait too long if you're interested in signing up for the 6-week program, because there is a discount code, and the promo code is called HHHY, which is short for 6 weeks to a hormonally healthier and happier you. And this discount code will last until the end of the week. So once that's done, it will go back up to full price, and the start date is March 8th. And so you really don't have long to make a choice here. So feel free to reach out to me, or you can just click on the link here and you can sign up right away. And if so, I really look forward to seeing you in this program. We're going to interact live weekly, which is awesome. So I can learn more about you, learn about your specific individualized symptoms and how we can customize a strategy for you to get the balance back. As well, you'll get lots of interaction in my community and in the group with others, which will help you to be motivated and accountable to make the changes needed to optimize your hormone balance. So thanks again for watching, and I hope to speak with you soon.